Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest show on earth. As always, I am your co-host Caleb Griffin.
I'm your other co-host, Evan Lytle.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a great episode planned today.
Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own. Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own. It's Caleb and Evan and Caleb. We're on a boat and we don't own it. Tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat, tuners on a boat that we don't own.
First and foremost, though, gotta address the elephant in the room. Yes, I'm wearing a beanie. No, I'm not the beanie guy on the channel. That would be the other Caleb. But my head got cold, so I'll put on a beanie. So, Caleb lad, if you're watching, I'm sorry that I'm wearing a beanie. I know it's your thing, but desperate times, desperate measures. Other than that, though, Evan, how's your week been?
Oh man, we're halfway through it. It's been pretty good.
Nice,
Not a
nice.
bad week.
I feel
Uh,
you.
I feel like I'm answering with the same answer every week.
Hey, that's not a bad thing.
But
If every week's going fine, every
yeah,
week's going fine.
yeah. I
Man,
mean, every week's just going fine.
yeah. Um, this has been a great week because I know when I wake up tomorrow, I don't have to watch She-Hulk, and that's always a great feeling that that's finally over. Gosh, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. We canceled last week's episode because of it, because neither one of us wanted to sit and talk about it, and how bad it was. So not gonna spend too much time talking about it. Um, but one thing we are gonna get into, Harrison Ford is now joining the MCU. Um,
Yes,
and I told Caleb Ladd the news about that, and his response was, "Oh, so he's going to be playing an actor that is being acted by." I forgot how he put it, but basically he just said, basically She-Hulk just basically said they're acting inside a world inside of another world. So he will be
an
Harrison.
actor.
He'll be Harrison Ford in a world and then in the world inside that world being acted. He'll be playing Thunderbolt Ross. It's weird how She-Hulk just kind of basically ruined the MCU, but it's fine. I'm still gonna watch stuff, and Harrison Ford is a great addition, and it's a kind of a smaller role, but I'm okay. I'm very happy about this because they need to fix everything that went wrong in Phase Four, and I think this is a good step. Casting Harrison Ford to or recasting Secretary Ross's character, and Harrison Ford is a great addition to that.
I think so.
Yeah,
I was a little caught off guard. I wouldn't have expected Harrison Ford, Han Solo, to be Red Hulk. But I'll take it.
absolutely.
It's whatever.
I mean, this man is just crossing off the list of like nerd heaven. He already got Blade Runner, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, and now he's in the MCU.
And
All
now
that's
he's in
really,
Marvel.
yeah.
Left
I
is
mean,
DC.
exactly. Like,
Yeah,
let's get him as I don't know who he could
someone.
play. Someone, uh, maybe Batman's butler. Um,
Alfred.
Alfred.
I
Yeah,
think I think I could see him as Jim Gordon.
I could. Yeah, I didn't
Just
even think
just with
about
his
Jim Gordon.
just with his Blade Runner character,
Yeah,
the detective.
yeah, I could definitely see that. For sure.
Fantastic.
Um, Speaking of, we talked about DC. I didn't put this on the list, but I meant to. There's a new trailer that came out for a new DC video game. Um, I have to look at the name of the game real quick, but I know the story is Bruce Wayne is dead, and
Oh,
you are
Gotham
now
Knights.
Gotham Knights. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
That one's got some controversy. I
really?
want it. Yeah, I want to get it for the Batman purposes. And it's next gen console only, but like people are canceling their pre-orders because it says it's going to run at like 30 FPS, which
Mm,
is, I mean, that's not even that bad. It's
it's
really
not.
not. I mean, like the Spider-Man game ran at 30 FPS, I think. I'd have to fact check that, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad. But people are just upset that it's like, well, if this is next gen only, why aren't we getting like 60 FPS bare minimum? I'm like, that's a fair point, but a game's a game.
Game's game. If it plays well, I don't really care about the FPS.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I might get this game if I can get a next gen console pretty soon because I still don't have one. But we'll see. I gotta get one. I gotta get one before Spider-Man 2, which is a great segue into our next piece of news. Um, PlayStation canceled their showcase in which we were really hoping to finally get some more Spider-Man 2 footage. There was
I
a
was so
video of the two
distraught.
actors. Yeah, I was too. It was as soon
Oh
as you
my
sent me that, I was like,
goodness.
oh gosh, yeah. So
Because when I sent it to you, it was they were looking at canceling. They hadn't really like decided yet, and then they're like, "Yeah, we're just gonna cancel it." And I was like,
yeah,
"This sucks."
there's some type of legal battle going on between Sony and Microsoft, which I was unaware of until I was shown the news of the situation. I looked into it, and really the only thing I can find is like one article, and it's basically saying like Microsoft wants to sue Sony for blocking games from going on Xbox Game Pass. Um, and I'm not sure how this works because if Sony owns the rights to the game, like why can't they decide what to do with it? And then once again, the only reason I even got a PlayStation 4 was just so I could play a Sony only game, which was Spider-Man. Because I was an Xbox guy before that, but I don't know many details on this legal battle, but it sucks because no Spider-Man 2 footage and
No Wolverine
and
footage.
no Wolverine footage either.
Gosh.
And there's just been so many like possibilities that Spider-Man 2 at least could have. I mean, there's been rumors that they're going to do Craven's Last Hunt, which
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
that would be incredible. I mean, I've been wanting to see that in a
And I
movie
think it.
for years. See it playing it like
I think it'll. Yeah, it works so much because I mean, like this is. I mean, for like actual canonical purposes, like this is this Spider-Man that's been Spider-Man for like 8 years. So it's like
yeah,
he's definitely had toe to toe with Craven before, and so I think his last hunt would be a good way to send that off.
yeah. I mean, there's also rumors that Peter Parker is going to die in this game, which is just what
I don't know if I could handle. I mean, two
I
games
couldn't.
in and they kill him.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, like
mean,
it'd have to be done really well. Like I could handle his death as a character for the game, but not if it's like, oh yeah, we just killed him. Like
yeah, I mean,
I'd have to have like a good reasoning for him to die.
I could see it being in the way that he's kind of setting up Miles Morales to take the reign. But I mean, I don't know how many games they plan on making in this series. But if you're gonna go 5 games deep, this is too early to kill Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And gosh, I would hate it. I would cry. I already cried in the first game when Aunt May died.
Hmm.
If Peter Parker dies, I don't think I would be able to handle it. I started having a panic attack when I thought Tobey Maguire Spider-Man died in No Way Home. I was like, no, no, like I thought I was going to start
Yep.
hyperventilating in the theater. So I hope that doesn't happen. But regardless, I'm just very anxious to get some type of gameplay released for Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. But it's looking like it's going to be later
A
than
minute. It's
expected.
gonna be a while. I mean, the
Yeah,
games. I mean, they say the game will still come out like
yeah,
next year, 2023.
yeah. That was going to be my next
So
point. Like it's still
yeah,
on track. Uh,
yeah,
which I mean, I guess the showcase doesn't take away from the development of the game, but like,
yeah. It takes away the fans like
yeah,
look into how the game's being done
yeah.
slash done.
Um, it's just it's itching me. I'm itching, but
Yeah.
it's something
I don't think they'll kill him unless
I don't either.
I mean Harry's got to come in. I think he'll come
Exactly.
in two. I don't think they'd kill him with Harry's introduction.
Yeah, that was one of my points in one of my episodes of Spotty News. Shameless plug, but that we know Harry is still alive,
Yeah,
and that he's not
or he's
in Europe.
comatose. Yeah,
Yeah, we Peter and MJ thought he was in Europe or wherever, and he's not. Um, We know Norman Osborn has something evil planned. Just don't know what it is yet.
Hmm.
We know, I mean, Doc Ock isn't dead. He could
Yeah.
escape the raft. Like, there's
I
so
mean, like the
many.
Sinister Six was just formed. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, he's
Um,
fought them all individually. He had quips and lines between them. That was like a relationship kind of that's built
exactly.
with them. And it was just his first time actually fighting all six of them together.
Yeah, and I think in this game, I don't think this is how they'll do it, but let's say that Sinister Six came back. Um, and then you also had maybe the Green Goblin. You already know Craven and Venom are confirmed. I mean, Miles Morales, there's no way he's fighting that by himself, even if
No.
it's game 3. So we'll
Hmm.
see. But regardless, very excited for this game, very upset we're not getting gameplay anytime soon. But
Yep.
it is what it is. Gotta move on.
We got to move on.
And next piece of news. Well, I'm gonna flip flop it because I had it one way, but since we're on the topic of Spider-Man, we got a confirmed release date for Spider-Man 4, which is July 12th, 2024. Um, I
I don't know
don't.
if is that's like confirmed.
It's
I've seen it rumored like
that's what.
everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen it rumored everywhere, and then there's been a couple of sources that have used the word confirm, which when it comes to the MCU, a lot of sources like to use the word confirm for no reason when it's not nothing is ever confirmed. But either way, they are looking at it's rumored that this movie will be releasing in 2024. I just don't see it happening, but if it
I
were to
don't either.
happen, I mean, here's my reason. I'll give my reasoning as to why I don't think it's going to happen. Number one, Tom Holland has gone on and on and on about how much he wants a break from this role, which I don't blame him for. I mean, he's been in movie after movie after movie since Civil War. The character ended in such a great place in No Way Home that really, I'm not upset that he wants a break. You know, give it to him. He's No Way after No Way Home, he's earned it. You know, um, number two, Sony and Marvel, we don't know the state of where they're at anymore. Um, Nothing much has came out of it. We know they had to come together so No Way Home could get made, and now we really don't know where they're at next. Um, Spectacular Spider-Man came to Disney Plus. I don't know what that means. Because I was under.
I hope it means a season two. I hope Disney's like, oh, well, unless Disney does it, because then it's.
Yeah, I don't want
I mean,
Disney to do it.
technically it'd be a season three
Yeah,
because like season one was 13. But anyways, if it means more spectacular Spider-Man and the right way, I'd take it.
I don't.
But I mean,
But
other than that, it's like Netflix already has it on there.
what's the point? Like, I'm just
Yeah.
skeptical about it because they're already coming out with a new animated series. So I don't think they
Hmm.
would continue Spectacular Spider-Man unless they did like a special movie. I could see something
Yeah.
like that, but even then, but you know, in terms of Spider-Man 4, also it's kind of been rumored that this is going to be a street Spider-Man following Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil Born Again comes out spring 2024. Um and it's 18 episodes. I don't know how they're going to release it. They might do like Andor release 3 episodes the first week, maybe Daredevil release 3 episodes each week and it'll be a 6-week show instead of 18 weeks. We don't know, but let's say hypothetically that it's 1 episode a week from spring to July 12th, I don't think that's going to be 18 weeks. So if you want to follow Daredevil Born
No.
Again, that's not enough time to really follow it. So that's my other reasoning behind it. Also, I mean it's just too soon. No Way Home came out very end of last year. Um and then re-released. I don't see I mean production on this if it was going to come out would have to start very very soon. You'd have to know really what the state of the MCU is going to be because we really don't know. Because I feel like a lot of things are going to get canceled coming up because people are quitting, people keep getting fired or not fired, but people keep quitting because Kevin Feige is losing his mind. Um,
Yep.
you can tell the CGI is not near what it used to be in recent stuff. Um, it's just too soon. And I don't want them to rush to make a Spider-Man 4 off the Spider-Man hype, because Spider-Man is probably like the most popular superhero right now because No Way Home was such a success. And they brought it back in theaters and it was such a success again. And then you're going to get a new Spider-Man 2 game, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, the new Spider-Man animated series. I feel like they're just trying to build off this momentum of Spider-Man. And if you rush into this project and with not the proper people that you've been having working on stuff, like John Watts walked away from Fantastic Four. Who's to say he would want to come back for Spider-Man 4?
Yeah.
I just don't want them to rush into this and make a crappy street Spider-Man movie, because a street Spider-Man movie is something people have been wanting for years, and it could be a perfect movie if done right. So I kind of went on
Yep.
longer than I meant to talking about that, so I'm sorry, but go
I
ahead,
think
Evan.
it's fair. I mean, it's what anyone would do, or any Spider-Man fan, I think. But I mean, like you got all your points, you know, like you don't want to rush a movie that's supposed to have one of the most anticipated like collaborations between Spider-Man and Daredevil. But at the same time, you gotta set that up properly. You know, you can't just like,
Yeah,
oh, well, fans like Spider-Man, fans like Daredevil, let's put them in a movie. And like, yeah, you'll make money from people watching it, but you need to like context it. You know, you need to give like the story well.
yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, 18 weeks, I think they'd lose me. I'm not even gonna lie. If I had to wait a week for one episode for 18 weeks, uh, I don't know. Not even as just like I think that'd be that way for any TV show.
Yeah.
Like it just that doesn't really appeal to me. Waiting 18 weeks to watch one episode,
Yeah,
or just
well,
waiting a week for one episode
yeah.
for 18 weeks in a row.
Um,
Uh, that's really all. I mean, it's just you gotta play it safe right now because
yeah,
Marvel's
absolutely.
they're messing up.
They are slipping up big time right now, and I've heard rumors that a lot of things are getting pushed back, which they need to be if things aren't if they're not at the standard of Phase 3
Hmm.
MCU, they need to be pushed back, because Phase 4 was such a disaster. Um, that if you rush into a Phase 5 to hopefully get just so you can get past Phase 4, it's going to be just as bad, if not worse. Um, I mean, I've had friends who have told me they're done with the MCU after Phase 4, that they're not even going to go see Wakanda Forever, because what's the point? The MCU is basically over. And I don't think that's true. I have hope. I know that I'm pretty sure Ant-Man's going to die, which is going to make me cry, and the Guardians are going to split up, or they're all going to die or something, which is going to make me cry again. But if after that, after Guardians are gone, if Daredevil if Daredevil and Spider Man aren't impressive to me, I will be done with the MCU at that point. But that's a long ways away. Maybe
Yeah,
not 2024 if that's release date happens. Maybe
dude.
not, but
Yeah,
we'll see. And with that being said, we will move on from Spider Man finally. And a little fun news: the Mario trailer released,
yes, it
and
did.
I'm excited. The animation
Yeah,
looked really good. There's like mixed feelings about Chris Pratt's voice. I'm okay with
yeah.
it. Um,
It's so back and forth. I see like people that are like they like it, and then there's people that are laughing at it, and then there's people that are like, "This is stupid."
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like you guys are expecting too much. It's like even if he did like an Italian accent or whatever, you'd still trash on him
You
just because of
would.
his beliefs and who he is.
Exactly. And I love Chris Pratt so much, and I might be biased in the sense that I love Chris Pratt so much, which is why I'm saying I'm okay with it. But if you think about it, Mario has two sound clips. So it's like "Let's a go" and "It's a me, Mario," and
Yep.
"Woohoo." That's all he says. So how can you expect a voice actor to have a voice when you have three sound clips to work off of? Um, Either way, I think the movie's going to be good. It looked very good in the trailer. And I'm excited for it. And once again, like I said, I love Chris Pratt. So I'm all smiles about Mario.
I'm excited for it. I like the memes where it's like they take Nick Fury, where he's talking about the Avengers Initiative, and they have like Sonic, Detective Pikachu, and Mario. And they're like, I'm
Yeah,
here to talk to you about the
Smash
Smash.
Initiative.
And I was like, dude,
Yeah,
I'd watch a Smash Bros. Movie. I don't really know how it'd work, but I'd watch it.
I don't know how it would work either. Could you imagine Smash Bros. The
It'd be like the
movie?
Mortal Kombat movie.
Could be.
Honestly, if they just got like the Mortal Kombat team and put it with like Smash Bros, that'd be a cool movie.
That would be interesting for sure. It would draw attention. I mean,
Yeah,
uh, I don't know how a Smash movie would work, but I would go see it. That's for sure.
for
Um,
sure.
yeah, but Mario, very exciting, and with that, we really have one piece of news left, and this is going to take us back to the MCU. Um, Possible casting for Mephisto, uh, a long rumored addition to the MCU. People have been waiting for this character. If you go back
Since
and watch
WandaVision,
since WandaVision, yeah.
gosh, I
Um,
mean, that's everybody was as soon as they dropped like, oh, this could be Mephisto, then everybody was looking for stuff in every episode, and it was like, yeah,
literally,
we didn't even we
yeah. Um, I remember all that hype because I was like, this is where Reed Richards is going to show up, and I was wrong.
yeah.
Everyone was wrong with WandaVision rumors, but uh, we did an episode. Uh, we did the GOAT game and we did villains, and this is who I
Hmm.
said was the GOAT of all villains. Um, I have a problem if this is true. This is just a rumor, but if they are casting who the rumor says, I have a problem with it. Sacha Cohen. It's not his full name. That's just how I know him, Sacha Cohen. The only thing
Borat,
more, yeah, thank you.
yep.
Uh, the only thing I have seen him in is Talladega Nights, where he played a French race car driver who broke Ricky Bobby's arm. And now don't get me wrong, Talladega Nights is a fantastic movie. It is absolutely hilarious. But if this is the type of actor, and I don't know what else he's been in, maybe he's been in more serious stuff and I don't know.
Not
But
really. I mean, he's kind of his own person, really. I guess
yeah,
I don't really know how to describe him, but I've not seen him in anything serious, and I
yeah.
don't know that he plays in anything serious.
So that's my problem with it. Like this is Mephisto.
Yeah.
Um, if I love comedy movies and I love actors like Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell. He's in like strictly comedy movies,
Hmm.
but I don't want to see Will Ferrell in the MCU. Um, like I remember when there were the rumors about John C. Riley being Nova,
I
I was upset because I was
mean,
like, no,
they weren't wrong. They just weren't right.
right. They weren't right. Like John C. Riley's role in Guardians was fine,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see him he wasn't a big hero or a big villain or anything.
Yeah.
If now I could maybe Sacha Morat Cohen or Cohen Morat, whatever his name is, maybe he is a great actor and he's just never done anything serious and maybe he'll do a great job. And if so, fantastic, because to me this is the greatest villain of all time, but I just don't see him playing this role and I kind of have an issue with it.
Yeah. I don't really see him as Mephisto. I don't, but well, I think like looks wise, I think I can see it, but
Yeah.
like
He's got the hair
not
for
his,
it.
yeah, not like his acting. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't walk in there knowing that he's playing Mephisto and like take the movie seriously.
It would
Like
be hard for me too.
even if it was like a completely serious movie, I'd still be like, why did they cast him?
Yeah.
And just
Yeah, and it's not a knock on his acting, it's just his style of acting.
yeah.
He's a comedy guy, which is great, but cast him to be a funny person in Guardians of the Galaxy, you know?
Hmm.
Not this big serious villain who takes people's souls.
Yep.
Like, man, yeah, I don't, like I said, this is just a rumor. We don't know if it's true or not, but if I think the rumor was reported by IGN, they're usually a reputable source. And
Sometimes.
sometimes, yeah, but if this is true, it just lowers my faith for Marvel in the future because right now the MCU is sucking up, and I hope they end well with Wakanda Forever, but my bar for it is just pretty low at this point.
Yeah.
Which I might go in there with such a low bar that it's a mediocre movie, and I just walk out thinking it's the greatest movie of all time. My bar is really that low. We'll see, but um, I'm more excited for Black Adam than I am for Black Panther.
Dude, I'm so excited, and I've seen it's so funny because like all of today I've seen like all the people who got to go watch it like last night or tonight, all the like big movie people and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, it's all right." It's like Rotten Tomatoes. I think they currently have it at a 54, and it's like,
Mm.
yeah, but you guys gave Love and Thunder a 67. You gave She-Hulk an 84,
Dude, that's
and Miss
insane.
Marvel a 97. Which I
That's
liked Miss Marvel.
I
I
didn't
don't know
too.
that's a 90. I
That's
don't
not a
know that's a
97.
97.
It's not.
I mean, it might be low 90s, but I don't know about high 90s. But
Like,
She-Hulk for an 84, and they're just like, you guys are just kissing Marvel's butt. You know this movie's better than like
literally, like,
She-Hulk for sure.
listen, I don't understand what people are seeing in She-Hulk. I don't know if they're just doing it to be politically correct, um, or what they're actually seeing in this movie. There was a YouTuber that Caleb watches, shout out Caleb Ladd, and he was saying that the guy reviewing this guy who he watches reviewing She-Hulk said he was getting he actually liked the show. He was getting mad that people were saying people who did like the show only didn't like it because they were sexist or whatever. And he was like, that's not true. Some people just don't like this show. I hated the show. I think
I
the
hated this
show
show.
effectively ruined the MCU in a sense because now everyone is just playing an actor who's playing an actor. It's
Yeah.
a fake
I mean, like
world inside a fake world.
that's what I was like noticing when I watched it. I was like, wait a minute, if she can just walk like, it was just she can recognize Tony Stark and like his daddy issues. Like no one really knew about that. Like
Like,
that means that you were technically a viewer of these movies. And like it was just
it's awful. It was a
it's
stupid
so awful.
decision. It was a dumb, and I get like I hate when people get mad about that decision that Marvel made to put that in the show, and the people always come back. These woke writers come back. You didn't even read the comic book. She used to jump panels all the time. Who cares? I don't care if she used to jump panels. She didn't jump universes.
Yep. And
I,
honestly, like and there's all the comments that are like, oh, if Deadpool did it, you guys would be praising him. But like Deadpool wouldn't, like there's
no,
or even if he did, like I wouldn't be like, oh, that was so cool. I'd be like, oh, that's stupid. Like I don't care who the character is if they
literally.
did it like that. I
If
mean,
they
it feels like Deadpool when he actually leaves the comic book and like kills all the writers because like they just want to have fun with it. Yeah, that's different. It's not Deadpool talking to a robot that's supposed to be Kevin Feige. Like it was stupid. It was a dumb decision on Marvel's part.
it was
And they're
absolutely
like,
stupid.
oh guys, we didn't get season two. Good. Season
Yeah,
one, like
you didn't earn it.
where were you trying to go with season one? You had no plot.
No, literally the only plot they had, she erased.
Yeah,
Whose stupid idea was that? I don't I don't understand it. And to the Deadpool point, if now that Deadpool is in the MCU, if something like that were to happen, I would lose my mind. I guess now it wouldn't be as bad because we already know there's a world inside of another world, and now it would just
yeah,
be like feeling the fire, and I would be upset, not like crazy upset. But if Deadpool was the first to do it, I'd be just as pissed. And
yeah.
I see Caleb Ladd's hands. I think that's Caleb Ladd. That might be Colton Merchant. Anyways, um, if Deadpool would have done this when he wasn't in the MCU, it'd be funny, it'd be cool. But the MCU is such a vast universe, and you're basically admitting that it's
It was
the whole
stupid.
thing
It
is
was.
stupid. Like
I mean, like, I don't even know how to like describe it.
I can't either. I don't get how the show got an 84. Like I don't know if it's reviewers just saying, we're gonna be woke about it and not
Well,
actually
because
review the
I mean,
show.
it's people saying like, oh, they actually went a creative route. You can go a creative route and not have to do that.
And
Like it
what
was
was
not
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what was She-Hulk's
not
point Like, oh, the bad guy stole my blood, now he's gonna turn evil. Haven't we seen this plot before? No. No.
Nope.
We have not seen this plot before. Where did we see this plot? Where a guy stole a Hulk's blood and turned into another Hulk. We never
Yep.
saw this plot. It was a
And
stupid
honestly,
plot.
yeah, I knew something was up when they just started getting crazy in that scene where he's like, oh, well, here's Abomination, here's Titania, Hulk busts in.
Hulk just
I was
dropped
like,
from the sky.
yeah. So
Like,
does Daredevil at the very end where she's like, can we bring Matt Murdock back? He just drops it. Like, what?
the whole show is stupid. And
Because she had a good night with him. She was like, let's bring him back. Like, not even for Daredevil's sake, just for like the sake of the show. Like, what?
and people are saying, like, Marvel finally did something different. So doesn't mean it's good. The
Or it worked. Yeah.
last time Marvel did something different and it worked was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Ever since then, if they've ever tried anything different, it hasn't worked. Why do people sometimes change is good, sometimes it's not. When you have something as great as the MCU once was, why change it? Why try
Yeah.
something like this? Viewers, the MCU was at such a point after Phase 3 that people were going to watch no matter what, and they did. I suffered through 9 episodes of the worst TV show I've ever seen because it's the MCU.
Yep.
Why? I don't get it, but we don't need to talk about She-Hulk anymore because I'll just get upset, and what's the point?
This was basically what last week's episode would have been like.
This is what, except we would have gone in more depth and
Yes.
talked about it a lot more, but it is what it is. She-Hulk's over. I don't have to wake up and watch it tomorrow. Andor, I haven't watched today's episode yet.
Honestly, I'm behind. I haven't even watched last week's.
Dude.
I've seen the like the memes or whatever where it's like episode 6 of Andor, and it has the general and is looking at like the giant green like hyperspace, whatever it is. I haven't watched it, and he's like, it's beautiful.
Dude,
I was like,
it's
well,
so good. Like,
so like, wait, so just without spoiling it, they start the heist in this episode, or they
yes,
still like okay?
they start the
Because
heist.
I was like, how many episodes? Like,
They did start the heist.
it was 3 episodes of this them sitting at the camp. I was like, this is cool and all, but like,
Dude.
I gotta see the plan in action.
Without spoiling it, I'm going to tell you how great this episode is.
I'm
I
gonna
am
watch this episode and today's episode tonight.
Yeah, I also got to watch today's episode, but without spoiling it, last week's episode was so insanely good that I am thinking this show might be better than The Mandalorian.
I mean, honestly, yeah, it was kind of it was on that runway since we started reviewing it.
Like, I have to go back and rewatch The Mandalorian because I haven't watched season 2 or season 1 since they came out. But
Same.
dude, this episode, I was shaking at the end of this episode. It was so good. And I really hope, maybe I should go back and watch it because I watched She-Hulk first. But maybe it's just because I just watched She-Hulk.
I heard you talking about it. I was catching up on my Caleb AM, and you're like,
dude,
I'll have to rewatch it because maybe it was because She-Hulk was so bad, but I know it wasn't.
the ending of last Andor episode is just it's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go watch the next episode right now because I'm so excited. But yeah. Well, is there anything else you would like to add?
Gosh, not that I can. Oh, Chainsaw Man's out. But
Yeah.
Oh, me and Caleb came up with a name. Other Caleb, shout out Caleb Lad.
Shout out Caleb
He
Lad.
texted me Sunday when we had just done our totally serious conversations, and he was like, "What do you think about dang it, what was it? It was like something dub for the dub or something.
Big dub or something like that.
Yeah, for the anime show, and I was like, I like it, and so hopefully the anime show will be.
Yeah.
It's in the workshop.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
Hopefully
to
it'll be out soon. But yeah, so Chainsaw Man came out, and I've been so hyped for that. It's only 2 episodes. It's weekly episodes, but it's so cool.
Yeah.
So plugging that in. It's on Hulu. It actually crashed the Crunchyroll like
I heard about
site or
that.
whatever, the app, like within like 2 minutes of it being on, and it was like that's hilarious. And I just waited for it to come on Hulu like an hour later,
Yeah.
and it didn't crash Hulu. I lucked out.
That's good. Um, I know I'm not really that much into anime. I'm starting to get into it a little bit. Um, Me and Caleb and Colton watched The Millionaire Detective. Or mine and Caleb's review about that is out now if you want to go check it out. Um, Also, they have the One Punch Man mangas in our campus library that you can check out. Like think like 1 through 13, if there's even that many. I
Nice.
don't know. And I might start reading that because I don't have to buy them like a
That
different
one's a
amount.
fun little read.
Yeah,
Just because I mean the guy literally one punches everything. It's superhero, so
yeah,
I think you'd like it. The season one's cool and season two's cool. It's just not the same.
yeah. Um, and let's see, the Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man came out today. I'm still trying to decide if I want to pull it or not. The artwork looks awesome. It's so
Deadly
weird.
Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just it it takes place in Los Angeles, and I just can't imagine Spider-Man swinging through Los Angeles. So
Palm trees.
yeah, I don't know, but the artwork it looks awesome. So I might check it out, but we'll see.
I'll have to check it out. I don't know that I'll buy it until I research it, but
Yeah, but yeah. Couple of news updates for Next Topic Media. This will be out tomorrow, which is Thursday. So Friday or Saturday, I think Saturday, the next Totally Serious Conversations will be released. Top 10 fast food restaurants. So if you're watching this now, get your list ready and compare it to ours. Um, and yeah, that's really our biggest announcement. We are at 90 subscribers last time I checked. So
woo,
hopefully next week we can
making
be
it on up there.
making
Yeah,
it. Hopefully next week we can celebrate 100 together. And
that would be
looking
so
forward to it.
cool.
That'd be awesome.
Throwing a little party, a little
Yeah.
totally serious conversations party.
All
Ooh.
right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Next Topic Media, Next Topic Sports. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the other social medias. Signing off, I'm Caleb Griffin.
I'm Evan Lytle.
And we'll see you guys next week.